Alright guys, it's me, Mr. Monday, again. It's our time for our weekly haul. This video is going to be one unboxing, um, two other issues that I got through the mail that I already opened, and one local comic shop buy, plus last week's comics this week. But before we get to that, we have to of course get to Two from the Tomb. So this week's Two from the Tomb is going to be, I was finishing up my Prestige comic book collection. I got that all separated from the other stuff, and I totally forgot about this. This is Batman Judge Dredd, Judgment on Gotham, with Alan Grant, John Wagner, and Simon Bisley on art there. This is probably my first introduction to Judge Dredd. I didn't really read anything until this came out, and I can't remember if I bought it like when it first came out or if I bought it a couple of like months later or something, but I did have it early on in the 90s. Yeah, it came out in 91. It was my introduction. It may have been my third or fourth book that I bought that had Bisley art in it. So, and that was because Lobo, the Christmas special and the first issue of his ongoing series, those were like some of the first Bisley books. So this had to be right there, either 3 or 4, possibly in 5. But just looking through this artwork, I mean, he really upped his game on this. It's like each panel could almost be like a cover, you know what I mean? Like a comic book cover. It was just so cool looking through this again, remembering it, like just how great it was. So yeah, but that's there we go. The second part of Two from the Tomb here is Legends number 3. Now, I'm not here to talk about what's in the book. Basically, the story behind the book, me purchasing it. And it's going to lead into the next book that I'm about to show. So, 2016, Suicide Squad comes out, the movie. This book goes up in price. I'd say back then it was going for easily between $40 to $60. Everybody wanted the new Suicide Squad with Amanda Waller, and this was it. There's another one that's an original from, I believe it's the 60s. Yeah, I think that there was a Suicide Squad in the 60s, but it wasn't, I believe, super villains or anything like that. But basically, I wanted this book since the Suicide Squad movie came out, so I had to cut a little bit of the FOMO. But I didn't buy it when it was at the high price. So 2016 rolled around. I believe I have a video. I can't remember when it came out. It had to be like 17, I guess. I waited like 6 or 7 months. Ended up picking this up for like, I think it was $5, and it's like, back then the shipping wasn't that much either. It was probably like $5 to ship. But the thing is, I waited for it. I didn't buy it at its peak, and that's a lot of things a lot of new collectors should know. It's a lot of stuff you can wait on. I mean, granted, Daredevil 1 and all that stuff, and Amazing Spider-Man 129, Hulk 181, those are pretty much, I hate to say safe bets, but if you're going to spend some money, you're probably not going to have to worry about anything. But if you're like me, you're part of the Vulture Club, we hate spending money. We get stuff on the discount, you know what I mean? So I ended up getting this for $5. Like I said, just because the movie came out, I all of a sudden wanted it. I never had any desire to have it before then, this particular issue. I mean, I had the Suicide Squad issue 1, I had some of their issues, but to get the first appearance, I really never cared, but long story short is just wait. So leading into that, I'm going to show you the next thing. This is my unboxing. So did a pretty good job here. Lots of bubble wrap. Alright, let's see here. Cardboard is always nice. But let me clear some of this crap out of here. Ended up picking up New Gods issue number 7. So people remember the Justice League movie. This is the main villain, Steppenwolf. His first appearance, and I wanted this book back in because I'm a huge fan of that movie. I'm a DC person. I don't make any excuses or anything. But as soon as that movie came out, I was like, oh man, I want to look for the first appearance. And of course, back in right when the movie came out, FOMO, damn it, that's everybody's of course looking for this book now. So I ended up when that movie came out, was it 2018? So I waited a couple years, and then I ended up picking it up for this about $23 shipped, which is a pretty good price for the condition it's in. You can see it's not like, of course I didn't open it, all the ads could be cut out, but just looking at it, it's not that bad a condition, for a book like this. But I'm glad to have it in my collection finally. So as always, guys, don't go running out whenever you see stuff first announced for movies, or some YouTube dude tells you this is a must-have book. Don't believe any of that shit. You know what books are that are must-haves. That's up to you, but to me, must-haves are like ASM 129, books like that caliber. If you're gonna spend any money, spend it on that kind of stuff. Don't go buying anything, especially villains, because they always come down in price after a couple years. But yeah, this is the first New Gods book, so why not jump on issue 7? So I've been pricing some of them, depending on how I like this after I read it, because I've never read it. Like I said, I've never read a New Gods book. I was this close to buying issue 2, but backed out at the last second. But yeah, let's see if we can take a look at it inside here. I gotta make this video run at least like, what are we at here? Yeah, just classic Kirby, But yeah, I'm glad to have that in my collection. Gotta get it in Mylar though. Try to get all my first appearances. And some sort of Mylar, just because I don't want to change the bags out every 10 years. Some of them I just don't care, I picked this one up at my local comic shop. This is a book I also wanted to have been checking out. A book I wanted to check out for the longest time. Even growing up, it was one of those books like, if I ever find it. I ended up paying $30 for it. And it's Astonishing Tales, issue number 25. The first appearance of Deathlock, the Demolisher. Now, Deathlock made a resurgence in the 90s, but he was always like that fifth Beatle, you know what I mean? He was always, if it was like a group shot or something like that, he'd always be the guy on the back cover when it was a wraparound. But yeah, you figure the four main guys back in the 90s were always Wolverine, Punisher, Ghost Rider, and Deadpool. And they tried to make him badass and stuff like that. I read maybe one or two of those issues, but I was more interested in reading this one because I've heard different varying opinions about this book and the issues that follow after it. The issues that follow after this should be easier to pick up. So, but definitely glad to have this in my collection, just the first appearance. And I do collect first appearances. I don't just, but the price has to be right, you know. And I'm not somebody that's investing. Obviously, this book got some issues and stuff like that, but I'm just glad to have it in my collection. Also picked up some Mickey Rat. It's gonna be a little bit hard for me to show because some of this stuff, and I've already got a warning from my last video. I put the L7. If you didn't see my last music video or vinyl record slash CD haul, I got a warning because I put the L7 cover on the. But I'm just trying to find some safe stuff here. But yeah, this is cool. I've been wanting to check this out for like the longest time. I've always heard about Mickey Rat, and the main way I knew about it was just reading metal magazines back in the day because a lot of guys had the Mickey Rat T-shirt. So these are the first copies or issues that I've ever owned. So but yeah, I was looking through it. I was like, yeah, there's a couple little better be safe than sorry. And Mickey Rat. So those are my 4 books that I got through the mail. 3 books I got through the mail and 1 I bought through the shop. Haul this week. As you can see, my hauls are getting smaller and smaller. Just not needing a whole lot of new stuff. And I'm just waiting for right prices. Now we'll get to the segment that I started a couple weeks ago. Last week's book this week. Batman 116, wrapping up finally. This was probably a better issue than the last 2, I'd say. So definitely, I think Tiny Onions going on top. So can't wait to see what the last issue is like. So I went to the shop the other day to pick up my pull list, of course, and picked up Primordial. And I was like, I don't really care for this one cover because they didn't have the red cover. And I'll show you that one in about 2 seconds. But didn't have the red cover. And then there was another cover that I got. I was like, I like this cover a little bit better. So I put it in my pile. I was like, I paid for it. I took it home. I was like, started to look through it. Like, wait a minute. Of course, number 1. So now I got 2 issues, but I like this cover, so I'm keeping it. Ended up getting the actual number 2, and I like this cover a lot, so I decided to go with that. Yeah, it's crazy to see where this is going, but I really like it. I like that the space stuff and the time period, the Cold War kind of stuff. So definitely if you're into that. But the first issue is really good. This one was just like a little, okay, I think issue 3 is going to be like, okay, we're going to find out what the hell happened to these 3 animals. I didn't even know this came out. All you need to know about this is Russian were-ants. That's right, not werewolf, were-ants. This is Gods of Brutality, issue number 2. One of my favorite books right now. Those that know the story, Thor and Hercules come down to help the new god Nick out. He's in hell trying to escape, and it shows their continuing adventures trying to get out of hell. but then they fight some were ants, Russian communist were ants. So this is the big part of the issue right here, and them just fighting at it. But love this book. Can't wait for issue 3 to come out. So it's like issue 3. You see all the Black Caravan. They've had some quite a few decent story or decent books coming out, so that I've been enjoying. So their books are a little bit darker and stuff like that. And here's the pinups. Picked this up on a shelf by Pop Star Assassin. Basically, an Elvis drug addicted Elvis impersonator trying to find out who killed his father, but then just goes through like and I'm a sucker for anything that has Elvis in it. I'm a huge Elvis fan, but even if it does not involve him, if it's an impersonation of him, I always pick it up. So it was just automatically sold for me. But you can see the artwork in it is pretty cool. So I'll definitely pick up issue number 2. But it was set in 1977 after Elvis passed away, and it's just got Norma Jean, like a Marilyn Monroe, I guess, impersonator. Yeah, it's a crazy book, man. And last but not least, I picked up a lot of new books this week. Surprisingly, I haven't picked up a lot of new books in a long time. Picked up Knighted. Funny, Big Elbow and I were posting back and forth to each other about Mark Texeira, and I walked into the shop and I was like, looked at this. I was like, oh, of course, what drew me to is the Frank Miller homage. But then I looked at the top 3 credits. I was like, oh, Mark Texeira. I was like, that's hard to. We were just talking about him, and then of course, I know most from the Ghost Rider series of the 90s. You can see the artwork. Let's see if we can find something a little bit more heavy. Yeah, see, this is just like right here, especially like this panel right here. This is just like classic Mark Texeira art. But yeah, basically the story is the quick 30-second version. Let me see it real quick. So we'll just start with this panel right here. The rise of Bob. That's Bob there, of course. Well, he goes. He ends up finding the Knight right here. This guy, or the guy that was the Knight before, ends up finding him. Like he's like he finds these pipes like tied together and stuff like that, and he loosens them up, and then, well, the original Knight before Bob became him was a peeping Tom. He was like looking in on these. Let me see if I can show her. He was looking in on these young co-eds. And Bob accidentally kills him because he thought the ropes were gonna make the pipes burst. So let me see if I can show that part. That's pretty damn funny. Let's see here. There we go. So right there, he sees this stuff, like they're like tied together. He's like, oh, what the hell's going on here? So he takes the rope apart and he like hears crash right here, and Mr. Knight was peeping on these women, and he ended up killing them, getting killed because he was tied to his rope or something. So here's a big puddle of blood, and I'll leave it at that. What happens after that? But I just thought that was freaking hilarious. But that's my haul for the week. Thanks for watching. Please check out the links down below. All those channels have been really good. They've been pumping out a lot of good content, so definitely check them all out. There's a wide variety of different kinds of collectors and stuff like that. Also, check out my Instagram if you get a chance. Been trying to put some new stuff up. I actually put this book up a couple days ago. So, trying to get different things I don't see up here all the time. But, alright guys, thanks for watching. I'll talk to you next time.